movement is a single leg deadlift, and this is a hinging movement. And when I say a hinging movement, I mean a movement that originates in the hips. Okay, so I want my hips to move back. So I have the kettlebell in my right hand. I'm going to stand on my opposite foot. Okay, so what I mean by hinging is I'm going to push my hips back and let my knee bend slightly, keeping my back straight as I lower to the ground. And again, it's not about how low I get, or it's not about how if I touch the ground with the weight. That's not the goal. Okay, so if you're really flexible in your hamstrings and back, and you can get the weight all the way to the ground with keeping your back straight, great. But if you can't, it's okay. Also, look, my hips are moving backwards. So what I see a lot of people do incorrectly with this, they get tired, they keep their knees straight and they kind of do this like good morning, and they touch the weight to the ground, and then they just kind of hinge up. And there's nothing wrong with that movement if done correctly, but that's gonna be more of a back-oriented movement with, and doing too much weight too quickly, you can also injure yourself. Plus, you're not getting the benefit of stabilizing in your hips and your knees. So your hip muscles, your glutes, and your hamstring are not getting the work by keeping the knee straight. So again, it's not about touching the weight to the ground. It's just about, I feel like my end range is here. And again, I don't want to now engage my back just to get the weight to the ground, okay? Because over several reps, over several sets, that's going to fatigue your back. It's not a good mechanical movement, and now I'm disengaging my glutes to now use my back, okay? So I'll just do a couple, and again, you can switch sides. But look at my hips. Look at my hips. I want to move my hips backwards and let my knee bend slightly, but it is a hip-based movement. So I'm moving my hips back first. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm going to do 16 reps per leg per set, okay? Again, use a dumbbell, totally fine. Just use whatever you have. Use whatever you have. I like the kettlebell though because I like the handle, but anything will work. And this is a balance exercise, so if you kind of get off balance, that's okay, that's kind of the point. Don't use too much weight because you're training balance as well as working the muscles, yeah? Which is a very important skill for functional training, yeah? Having good balance is an important skill to have. So that's our first movement, single leg deadlift. So I want to get into a plank position, and I'm going to do a push-up. So if you want to make your push-up harder, so I'm going to push up, and as I come up off the ground, I'm going to shoot my hips up into the air, keeping my knees straight. So it's a great chest and shoulder developing tool, plus it adds coordination and will make your core strong. So then I'm just going to step back to my plank, push up, and explode. So step back to your plank, push up, and explode. Okay, so there's a little bit of a whip motion as I push up. I'm gonna come up and then jump up. So I kind of create that burpee type wave or kip motion. If you want to make this push up harder, I do what's called a planch push up. And I really like the planch push up because it starts to target my lower chest a little bit more. And all I do is just turn my hands backwards a little bit, okay? And I really think about pulling my shoulders down toward my hips, like that. So instead of being shrugged up, I want to keep my shoulders down toward my hips. And you should be doing that in all push-up positions. Is really pulling your shoulders down away from your earlobes, okay? But my planche variation, which is a little bit harder, it'll target your lower chest more here, and explode, okay? Step back, push up, explode. Step back. All right. So that's the push up to pike. Yeah, and again, if you want to make it a little bit harder, just turn your hand so your fingers are more pointed toward you or out to the side. And keep your shoulders pulled down the whole time. Called a tuck up. And there's two variations. We have a hanging tuck up and we have just a floor tuck up, which I'll show you after this. But a hanging tuck up, I'm gonna jump. Make sure you have a good grip on the bar. I'm gonna engage my core, keep your elbows bent a little bit so that your shoulders aren't just hanging. And then I'm gonna pull my knees to my chest with control and then back down. So as I come down, I don't wanna just release everything and start this swing. So I need to keep my core engaged the whole time. And I'm just gonna do 15 reps. So if your core is real strong and you want to add a variation of maybe like a twist to each side, totally can, or a little twist for both sides. We're just doing 15 of those. All right, so if you can't do the hanging tuck crunch because your core's not strong enough or you just don't have somewhere to hang, we're just gonna do the floor variation. So sitting down on the floor, I'm gonna keep my core tight the whole time, extend out, and then pull my knees into my chest. So you can come all the way down and keep your core if you have a strong core, but I would recommend keeping your legs off the ground and not leaning too far back. So depending on how strong your core is, you can lean back more and crunch. But if you're new, just being here will start developing your core. So just keep your back safe, because you don't want to lay down and your back arches here. That's not good for your back, okay? So I want to close my rib cage and keep my core really tight the whole time. I'll just do 15 reps. So that's our tuck crunch.